I would like to introduce the next guests. They are husband and doctors. They are both doctors. They are both eye doctors, and they have dedicated practically most of their I was going to say cardiology life, because that's what I have done all my life. Most of their eye practice to a worthy cause, and they are the steering couple of the entire operation in India. And as I said, they have been with this project for more than 2 decades. So just join me in welcoming our guests. I'm sorry, Dr. Ramani and Dr. Ramani. Please, Radha Ramani. Please.
Dear friends, the volunteers of Sankara Foundation, Houston chapter, the extended Sankara family, the master of ceremonies, the cardiologist with a kind heart, ladies and gentlemen, after such a sumptuous dinner, I do not know how keen you would be listen to something which has been literally a brass tacks, what has been going on for almost 38 years back home in India. We started the movement 38 years ago as a voluntary initiative. There are a few important aspects about the movement per se. One, it is a need-based program. 2, it is a voluntary initiative. And 3, it has a proven track record. Voluntary initiatives, as against something which is done on compulsion, always will have far-reaching results. Just a humorous anecdote. All of us are familiar with the common rural scenario back home, where every village will have a lake or a pond providing water supply or for irrigation purposes. One such village, one day early in the morning, there was a stranger who was walking along the brim of the pond, and suddenly the fellow slipped and fell into the water. As luck would have it, he did not know swimming. He went into the water, came out shouting for help. When such an accident takes place, we see a lot of people waiting and watching. There were about 100, 200 people standing there, watching this fellow getting into the water for the first time. Second time again he came up and shouted for help. Third time he's coming up, perhaps he's going to drown himself forever. At that point of time, a young man got into the water. Together they struggled for a while and came out of the water. The entire crowd looked at this young man very appreciatively. When all of us were passive observers, this man has braved his life and gone and saved the drowning person. They looked at him very appreciatively, whereas he looked at everybody and asked, "Who pushed me inside?" He was also a passive observer only. Somebody has pushed him into the water for the heck of it. Having gone into the water, the other guy is holding his leg. Unless and until you bring him out, he is not going to save himself. Friends, it is not a voluntary initiative. What I try to tell you is something which we started. I hail from the city of Coimbatore. My father, Dr. Ramanathan, was one of the first doctors of the city. My wife, Dr. Radha, was here, a medical doctor as well. We had a roaring practice. My father started in 1930, and we started in 1972. But we are privileged to be inspired by the Kanchi Shankaracharya, who has tried to say that doctors also should spare a little bit of their time for the less privileged. So we started a movement in a small little way in Coimbatore, in the state of Tamil Nadu, way back in 1977. With this preamble, I shall go ahead with this presentation, friends, and perhaps at the end, I would invite all of you to come out with your questions. I shall be too happy to answer. Largest community eye care provider in the world with pan-India presence, working in 10 states, 79 districts, 359 village blocks, process and systems in place. Sorry. Having covered 3.3 million rural patients in terms of screening and performed over 1.2 million totally free eye surgeries. And that is the Gift to Vision program. How did all these things happen? Our millionth beneficiary, on March 4, 2013, Sankara performed cataract surgery on Shanti's left eye, marking the millionth free eye surgery. Shanti is back at her weaving loom, supporting her disabled husband and 4 young children. That was a landmark for Sankara Eye Care in India. Together, we have brought holistic transformation and smiles through 1 million sight restoration surgeries. As we look back with pardonable pride, it was the blessings, the motivation and inspiration of the Acharyas to set up a truly secular charitable eye care institution with stress on community eye care. This is where we started a small little 10 by 10 two-room center on 20th May 1977, which became the medical trust subsequently. Community eye care as the thrust area of activity, because we strongly believe that vision is the gift of God to behold the beauty of nature. Whatever may be the cause, to be blind is not fair if it can be cured with quality eye care. Statistics are startling. Every 5 seconds, an adult goes blind. Every minute, a child becomes blind in this world. This is the authorized statistics from the World Health Organization. Understanding darkness globally, about 284 million people are visually impaired worldwide. 39 million are blind totally. 245 million have no vision. 90% of the world's visually impaired live in the developing countries. As just now our Honorable Consulate General was mentioning, 90% of the visually impaired globally live in the developing countries. In India, 12 million are blind. Over 1/4 of the world's population of blind live in India. 2 million go blind every year, 62% due to cataract. 320,000 children are blind. What is the irony? 80% of these patients, these cases, are either preventable or curable. They are needlessly blind. They don't have to be blind at all. They are needlessly blind. At Sankara, we made a beginning 38 years ago through high quality, cost-effective and readily available eye care at the doorsteps of rural India. The headquarters in Coimbatore is a 500-bed super specialty eye care. In the name of charity, we have not compromised on the quality. The hospital there in India, for that matter all our hospitals, can be compared with the best anywhere in the world in terms of the infrastructure, equipment, expertise and experience of the people involved. We started with eye banking. All of you know that when someone dies, the eyes are gifted and transplanted to blind people. It is a concept which we have taken to the community and tell them. We started telling them, do not burn, do not bury, donate eyes. It is divine. At Coimbatore alone, every day we receive a pair of eyes, and that is transplanted to corneally blind children, adults or elderly people. We are into research in a big way. We have made out and patented a synthetic cornea called keratoprosthesis, for some of the very rare conditions as far as corneal blindness is concerned. The next program with which we started in Coimbatore is titled Gift of Vision. We take eye care to rural India. We don't do these programs as a one-day mela, not for the sake of publicity. On the other hand, we do the survey of the population of say around 10 villages over a period of 8 weeks involving the local youth and the women forum. Identify those who have got visual defects, and those are the people who are screened every Saturday, Sunday by our team. Our team of doctors and paramedics, they go to the villages on Saturdays and Sundays, and in the local school, the patients are being registered or examined thoroughly. Certain procedures are carried out at the school level, their blood sugar evaluated, fitness is given, then they are brought to the base hospital the very same day in our own buses. Once they are in the base hospital, there is a documentation. All the 1 million surgeries patients, we have a complete documentation of all of them. So these patients have a documentation. There is an assessment before surgery, thorough lab investigations, pre-operative care, a good, comfortable accommodation, and hygienic food. Those 3 days, we take care of these poor patients, just like our own grandfather and grandmother, nothing compromised. They are all operated upon. Today, at Sankara, we perform 500 free eye surgeries every day. When I say free eye surgeries, it is no primitive procedure. It is the state-of-the-art, sutureless phaco surgeries with intraocular lens implant. Something which a very affordable person in this advanced country of the United States, in a topmost eye hospital, whatever would be the quality of surgery, believe me, the very same surgery is being done totally free of cost to the poorest of the poor back home in India. After 3 days, these patients are dropped back, and exactly after a month, we go back to them to evaluate and do a medical audit on our own performance. In the field of children, we have a program titled Rainbow. Prevention is better than cure. I wish our Consul General was here, he was talking about that. 6% of school-going children have undetected visual defects. We involve the school teachers. He was talking about human resource. In this unique program, highly systematized program, we involve the school teachers in the first phase, optometrists in the second phase, and third phase, we have the eye surgeons. So far, close to around 4.5 million students have been screened for undetected visual defects back home in India. 75% of what children learn during the early years of life is processed through their vision. Early detection, correction, and treatment ensures a bright future. Rainbow is a program for 6 to 18 years, the school-going children. Below that, you have 3 to 6 years, a program titled Maitri. We go to the orphanages to pick up these children. And Swagatam is a program for the newborn. Swagatam, as you know, it is welcoming someone into this world. For 0 to 3 years, we screen for congenital anomalies, birth defects in children. It is much more than just vision screening. It's comprehensive examination, screening, rehabilitation, chemotherapy. At our Bangalore Sankara Eye Hospital, we have one of the 2 facilities in the whole country where we treat cancer affecting the eye in children called retinoblastoma with brachytherapy. We are able to not only save the vision, not only save the eye, but also the life of those children, and that's what's happening at our Bangalore Sankara Eye Hospital. In the year 1998, the Sankara Eye Foundation was established here in the United States, thanks to my good friend back home in Coimbatore, Mr. Balasubramaniam, who motivated Murli and his brother and his friend and their friends to start Sankara Eye Foundation. It has been a success story. They were able to motivate the local people, and then they started thinking, why not we have chapters in places like Houston and the East Coast as well. Now we have the extended Sankara family sitting here, and 1998 was a turning point for Sankara in India. We have a lot of partners even back home in India. The Infosys Foundation is a partner in Bangalore. The Robert Bosch Foundation of Germany are also partnering with us in the field of academics. Sir Ratan Tata Trust is also one of our partners. Diabetic retinopathy program for rural India. Diabetes is no more the disease of the rich. Even in the villages, there are many patients suffering from diabetes, and the first organ to get affected is the eye. So we screen them and give them the timely treatment, be it lasers or surgery. In the year 2003, Murli and his friends came and said, "Doc, why you want to restrict yourself to Tamil Nadu? Why don't you share your experience and expertise for the benefit of the rest of the country?" That was the 25th year, and we said, let us take it up. And we started a concept titled Vande Mataram, under which Vision 20 by 20 by 2020, the goal given, we said, it is going to be an obsession for us, a magnificent obsession. Perfect vision for all in India, by establishing replicable and sustainable models in community eye care. The scaling up has been a challenging but highly rewarding exercise. What you see are the various hospitals we have right at this point of time. All those red and orange colors are places where we already have the Sankara eye hospitals. The central strip of white and cream are those states where we have to replicate, of course, with the support from every one of you. The integrated hospitals or the community hospitals, the headquarters is Coimbatore since 1977. Then we went to a place called Krishnan Koval near Madurai in southern Tamil Nadu. Then we went to Andhra Pradesh, the first application outside the state, that was the Guttu, taking care of the coastal Andhra Pradesh. As Murli mentioned, we are going to the third phase of the Andhra Pradesh development, hospital development. Then we went to Bangalore. At Bangalore, in the heart of the city, the old HAL Airport Road, some of you might know. This is the hospital what we have built. And next we went to the northern Karnataka, a place called Shimoga. On the banks of the Tunga River, we have put up a beautiful hospital, Sankara Eye Hospital in Shimoga. And then we went to Gujarat, Anand in Gujarat. Our present Honorable Prime Minister, then the Chief Minister, came and inaugurated the hospital. He is very close to Sankara. Sankara is close to his heart. He appreciates what is going on over there, and he is keenly following, and every time he asks me to explain, go and meet him and tell him what is happening as far as Sankara across the country is concerned. Then we went to the northern part of India, we went to Punjab and established a hospital, Sankara Eye Hospital at Ludhiana in Punjab. Recently on 12th of October, the Kanpur Hospital in Uttar Pradesh has been inaugurated. Uttar Pradesh, as you know, is a very big state with a lot of people who need proper eye care. We have a hospital in Rishikesh, a managed hospital called Nirmal Eye Institute in Rishikesh in the state of Uttarakhand. We do have city hospitals for the paying patients. The one in Vijayawada, we have one in Coimbatore as well, we have one in Mumbai, the Malad, and the Kanpur city, yet another hospital. The future applications are going to be Jodhpur in Rajasthan, Indore in Madhya Pradesh, Raipur in Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Odisha, and Patna in Bihar. These are the next 6 states we have enlisted for quick replication to reach out to the rest of the country. Sankara is globally the only institution where we follow a 80-20 model. What is this 80-20 model? You go to any hospital anywhere and ask them, what is the charity you guys are doing? Somebody would tell you, yes, for every 100 patients, we don't charge 1 person. Somebody might say, for every 100 patients, we don't charge 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But nobody will tell you for every 100, we don't charge 80 patients. 80% of the 80% of our beneficiaries are the rural poor, who are given totally free eye care. They don't pay even 1 rupee. It is not subsidized eye care, it's totally free eye care. And the balance 20% are people like you and me, who can afford to pay. They come in for an international quality eye care, pay for it, thereby they cross-subsidize the free surgeries. Even Murli's mother came all the way to have her surgery done. Most of our friends in Sankara Eye Foundation, their own kith and kin, they always go to Sankara because they know it is not just charity, it is international quality given with compassion and passion. Our chief guest today mentioned about the human resource. We have Sankara Academy of Vision at Bangalore, which is basically our capacity building arm. We raise the human resource, right from the doctors to the administrators, to the optometrists, to the paramedical staff. We are an accredited institution by Government of India for postgraduate ophthalmic training. So we train the entire gamut of human resource. We have created a template for scaling up and reached 91% self-sufficiency as on date. This is the Academy of Vision. What we normally do is, the next state when we go, like for example Jodhpur, what we would normally do is, we identify around 100 girls from the surrounding villages, from poorer families, plus 2 past girls, and out of that, we give them an examination and shortlist 30 to 40, purely on merit and aptitude. And these 30 to 40 are brought to Coimbatore for a Vision Care Technicians program, which is a university recognized diploma program. No capitation fee, no tuition fee either, but we pay these children stipend for those 2 years so that they don't strain their families. By the time the hospital construction is over, these girls would have completed the course. They would have learned not only the technology, but also the work culture of Sankara, which they go and replicate back home in Rajasthan. My wife and co-founder, Dr. Radha, is totally in charge of training these young generation into modern eye care with the culture and compassion of Sankara. The reach has been 146 revenue districts in 10 states, gift of vision to millions, 18,000 camps conducted, 3.3 million patients screened, 1.2 million operated upon, 44% men, 54% women, and 0.5 to 1% children, with 98.8% success rate. And 64% of the patients are back to work after surgery. That is the socio-economic impact which has been created back home. What is special and unique about Sankara? We have a very strong governance model. As far as process and systems, we are one of the institutions which has the maximum process and systems, much more than the biggest corporate hospitals back home in India or the NRI hospitals. We have divided the hospital, each hospital functionally into 7 areas, and each area has got 7 key performance indicators. On 1st of every month, we get the balance scorecard for all these activities. We evaluate what is happening. All the hospitals are 24/7 video linked, not only for academics, but also for administration. We have a very good governance model. Both medical audits and financial audit is carried on every month. Service delivery, we have standardized protocols. Human resource, I already mentioned to you. Finance is centralized, training and development as well. 38 years of track record inculcating values. At Sankara, we do not have attrition. No attrition. Other than me and Radha, we have provided 38 years of 100% honorary service. This is not our bread and butter. All our paid employees are paid minimum 30% more than any of the corporate hospitals. At Sankara, we do not have attrition at all. They are given job opportunities, job satisfaction, scope to grow in future, decent monetary compensation, and above all, a pride of belonging to a great movement. Quality is the priority. I did mention the first NGO to adopt the various parameters. A lot of awards have come in our way. The FICCI award consequently keeps on coming. SR Jindal, I saw the name over here, award. And then recently the IMC Ramakrishna Bajaj National Quality Award, which has come to Sankara. Our former president, Dr. Abdul Kalam, Sankara is very close to his heart. He has visited Coimbatore 5 times. In fact, his 80th birthday was celebrated at a hospital over there. And he said, "It is indeed God's work I can see in this hospital of Sankara. Giving light to blind is the greatest service to the humanity." The chairman of the Robert Bosch Foundation Germany did say, "I'm extremely impressed by the way the doctors treat the patients at Sankara. I admire the whole team for this kind of contribution to the poor humankind in India." Dear friends, I conclude, if there is a need-based cause. If we have clear goals ahead of us, if our approach is totally transparent, if we have the community with us participating, human resource development as an integral part, creating a dedicated and committed team with process and systems in place, above all divine blessings, growth and success are the natural outcome. We strongly believe that the miracles cannot cure the blind, but together we can. Namaste. We invite you to involve yourselves. Before I conclude, I would like to